Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in our chats with Emily, as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are using the Johnson edition. We turned out a poem 484, My Garden Like the Beach. Again, let's point out that Emily is a great lover of gardens. Her father, of course, will have appropriated for her an amazing garden. She spent a lot of time there. And as we have said in earlier lectures, Emily will recognize the power of the symbolism of the garden, and she'll often work with it there. Now, just to work with a few of our assumptions, I'm hopeful that you've already worked through our set of introductory comments at learnstrong.net. Down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily is our playlist. I'm really hopeful that you've already worked through our preceding 483 poems. We just finished with 483, A Solemn Thing Within the Soul. And if you have, then you know that Emily loves to talk about the garden as being the great symbol. And there's any number of scholars that have pointed this out. Judith Farr has pointed out that this poem might have even accompanied a gift of flowers to whoever she sent it to. I should as well point out that unlike Walt Whitman, Emily didn't spend a lot of time around the beach and the ocean. For her, the garden was way more important, and yet she's going to bring the two of these word pictures together quite remarkably in this little poem. Let's enjoy it. She says it this way. My garden, like the beach, denotes there be a sea that's summer, such as these, the pearls she fetches, such as me. By the way, do you hear all those beautiful S sounds as she's playing the game? Now, 16 poems she references her garden, but the only use of the word beach happens in this poem. So that tells you, I think, quite a bit right away. Notice, the garden, especially my garden, like the beach, denotes there be a sea. In other words, you have the two of these coming together. We can't help but think of T.S. Eliot's Dry Salvages. We've given full lectures at learnstrong.net from the four quartets. In other words, in the same way that you got to have a beach to have an ocean, you got to have an ocean to have a beach, she's going to make the argument that there is such a thing as the garden that produces the sea of flowers, right? All of the summer, all of the S sounds with summer, such as these, and then she'll call them the pearls, which is, of course, the flowers themselves. She fetches, such as me. Now, this fetching of flowers, where would she have these images from? Earlier studies, possibly Ophelia, of course, in Hamlet. That would be a somewhat sad, maybe, recognition here. She finishes this poem with the word me capitalized. And I think that the argument she's making is that just as the beach denotes a sea, Emily's garden denotes a sea of flowers in the summertime that is for her precious, we might say. To be, I love all the S sounds of this poem. At 3A, consider our study of Voltaire's Candide. And by the end of it, what is it that he says? We must all cultivate our own gardens. I think, of course, it works rather nicely with this poem. Finally, at 3B, to own a poem like this, what are your feelings about gardens? Do you love gardens? And to what degree do you enjoy being around gardens? I hope your study of Emily is like that for you. Thank you.